Hello and welcome back to the Skrilla Heed YouTube channel, and welcome to Matchday number 6 for Liverpool. It is Liverpool versus Hull. Now, Hull aren't a team to be taken lightly. We saw how they started the season. Yes, they dipped a little bit. You can't really give too much away about that, take away much from them in the Man United result when they lost it in like the 93rd minute by Rashford, 1-0. They were very good throughout that game. They drew with Burnley away from home. They played Arsenal, and Arsenal have been hitting some great form lately. They got beat 4-1, but in that game they got a sending off in defence. And I think that defender isn't going to be available for this fixture, as far as I'm aware. Not entirely sure on that one, I'll be honest with you. But then they came back and they beat Stoke, and it was a very, very good result for them. Poor result for Stoke, but we're focusing on Liverpool versus Hull. Liverpool, basically, ever since we faced Burnley, we've rattled off a good couple of results. We obviously got the 5-0 against Burton Albion. We had the draw against Tottenham after that, the 4-1 against Leicester, the 2-1 against Chelsea, and then 3-0 in the Cup against Derby. We've been putting some good results together, and there's no reason why we shouldn't be able to continue that today. Now, and when I say today, I mean obviously Saturday, which is when the game is. So this game, it's coming up at 3 o'clock on Saturday. What I've got here is I've got the team sheet of what I think that we're going to put up. Now, I can't say what I think, really, because one of them is pretty much confirmed, and I think it is confirmed, actually, by Jurgen Klopp, in being Loris Karius. Put in a pretty good performance against Derby. Didn't really have many questions asked about him. Obviously, they had Darren Bent up front, and I'm not really slagging Darren Bent off, but we dominated that much of the game that they didn't have an opportunity to actually get at us and really try carry us all that much. There was the main thing that happened when, obviously, the one bad thing that Henderson's done recently, and it's minor because there was no consequence, is the pass that he was, I don't really know where he was passing it, but he passed it back. Karius comes striding off his line, gets hold of that ball and passes it out, and that was just nice, calm, cool and collected. Might not have happened if Mignolet was in goal. You never really know. But Karius is going to be getting a shot in the Premier League, and I'm really happy to see that. I think I said in my review video for the Derby game, I like the idea of having that little trio that we've got there. Lovren, Matip and Karius. Lovren looks like a player reborn this season. Looks absolutely magnificent. Matip is only enhancing that. Now, there's obviously people that are saying, is he the next Hoopier? Hell, fingers crossed, because he's the closest thing we've had to a cool, calm, collected defender in years, and that is really doing really well, rubbing off against Lovren. I think Lovren's really showing why we bought him from Southampton. He's really showing very, very good form. Matip himself is doing excellent. His distribution, cool under pressure, absolutely fantastic, and the same thing can be said for Karius. His distribution is brilliant. Passes, short passes, long passes, collecting the ball. He ticks every single box for me, and that's not to say Mignolet hasn't done well recently. It's just I really want to see what he's going to bring to the team, what Karius is going to bring to the team, and how that back four is going to react to it, because I think they're going to start talking a little bit more. I think they're communicating a lot more than they have done in recent years. Left back will be James Milner for me, no doubt. Now, if he comes up against some pace, to be fair, I think he's dealt with pace quite well. Where especially, obviously, if you look at the likes of Leicester, and they've obviously got Riyad Mahrez, they've got Jamie Vardy, obviously, then they've also got Musa and stuff like that as well. I don't think they exploited the fact that James Milner was on that left-hand side, but anything that he's really been thrown at him so far in defence, he's been able to deal with. So I'm quite happy with Milner being at left-back, and obviously, you cannot not be happy for Klein being at right-back. He's been absolutely solid, no complaints whatsoever. Very happy to see him there. Jordan Henderson obviously will be sitting just behind. There's no reason to be taking Henderson out, especially after his absolutely sublime goal that he scored against Chelsea. It was absolutely magnificent, fantastic goal, and it was just... But the whole performance of Henderson all night against Chelsea was very, very good, very inspired, It was just amazing. It was really, really good to see that, and I think we're starting to see the Henderson we were getting 2 years ago, the 13-14 season that nobody really mentions. 2 years ago? 3 years ago. Around that sort of time anyway, when he was partnering Gerrard and stuff like that, and we're starting to see that Henderson again. The work rate, the spray of passes, linking plays, and actually just taking a shot himself and doing the best that he can. It's absolutely awesome. And then alongside the likes of Wijnaldum and Lallana. Now, Wijnaldum probably doesn't sit that high up on the pitch itself. It probably does not sit that high up, but he seems to be doing a lot of the dirty work in the midfield, as well as getting forward when he can and linking the play between the three forwards, Lallana as well, Henderson when they're coming up. They are working so well together right now, and it doesn't make sense to take Wijnaldum out. And I am the first to put my hands up and say, and I've said it before, I've said it to mates as well, that I slagged off at the signing of Wijnaldum. I thought it was going to be a shit signing. I thought we were absolutely hung, drawn and quartered. Not the whole team, but the fact that we spent money on Wijnaldum, and I thought he was going to go missing. So far that hasn't been the case, and I hope he just keeps kicking on and he keeps doing really, really well. That's all that I'm hoping for, and I'm always one of the first to admit when I'm wrong. I will be. You don't have to tell me I'm wrong. I will admit it myself. Lallana, in great form. There's no reason to take Lallana out right now. He's playing so very well. Coutinho is going to be on that pitch. Mane is going to be on that pitch. Up top is probably where the question mark is. I myself have gone for Firmino. And the reason I'm going for Firmino is that I think while Sturridge has obviously been playing well, he played very well in the Leicester game. Obviously he set up the Mane goal and played some very good parts in the other goals as well. Against Chelsea, just looked a little bit isolated, a little bit impotent, and looked a little bit frustrated more than anything else. And I think that why in a game like this, where we don't know if Hull are going to sit off us or if they're going to try and go like head to head with us and try and come at us as we go for them. I don't know if they're going to sit off us or not. And I think having Firmino in there, who his work rate is unquestionable for a forward player. He's very good at. He can play very well in the striker role. He's scored a couple of goals. He's got a really good touch, really good finishing as well this year so far. I think that Firmino will get the nod up front to start the game. Whether he finishes the game, probably not. And this is where I'll come on to my substitutes. The three substitutes that I think will happen, I've got just down the bottom here. And the three substitutes I think that will happen, I think Emre Can will come in for Henderson. I think, Henderson or Wijnaldum, depending on how they're both performing and where they are with fitness. Then we've obviously got Moreno. I think Moreno will probably come in, if we manage to shore up and we're comfortable with a couple of goals, he'll probably come on a little bit late on, maybe 75 minutes, 80 minutes, and come on for James Milner. Give him a bit of a rest because depending on the performance again. And then here we've got Daniel Sturridge, and I think Sturridge will be the third one that will obviously take the forward position later on in the game. And I just think that's how it's going to run at the moment. I think Sturridge, as much as he won't want to be, is a very, very good impact sub. And if you get him on at the right time, so about maybe 65 minutes, maybe 60 minutes, even then, depending on how, again, all depends on how the game runs. Now, in my opinion, I don't see any reason why we shouldn't be doing very well in this game. And that's no disrespect to Hull. It really isn't. I'm not trying to disrespect Hull whatsoever. But the reason that I'm going for... I'm obviously, by the way I'm talking, you can tell I'm going for a Liverpool win. And I think that we can win it. We've got no excuse why we can't win it. Off the recent results that we've had, I've been so positive. And obviously, I think I'm looking at the likes of the Burton Albion game and the Derby game. And I'm certainly not comparing the fact that Hull were in the Championship last year. They're not in the Championship this year, and they are in the Premier League. However, I think those two games show you that we are now realising we have to take... You can't take your foot off the gas with what are perceived to be lower level or lower league teams, or lower in the league teams, which obviously Hull are lower in the league than us. That's absolutely fine, that's no problem. The thing for us has always been... When it comes to facing the big teams, we turn up, and we turn it up most of the time. We can come out and we can beat Chelsea. We can come out and beat the champions. We beat Leicester. We can come out and beat Arsenal. We can come out and beat these guys, and then we turn up against Burnley, have 80% possession, and lose the game 2-0. It's not good enough to do that, and I don't imagine that we will do that. I think with the momentum that we've got right now, I think we're in a good place. With an attacking team like this that are now getting solid at the back, which has always been our problem in the last 4 years. Always been our problem. Maybe even stretches back further. In the last God knows how many years, defence has always been a problem. Now it looks like we've got a partnership that if they get enough game time, and along with the goalkeeper as well, depending on who it is, whether it's Mignolet or Karius, Lovren and Matip seem to be the centre-back partnership. Whatever, and I'm very happy with that, with the way that they're performing. Even when Klavan steps in as well, Klavan could obviously be a substitute that may come in. You never know. There's obviously going to be different changes and stuff like that as well. But when Klavan comes in and he plays against Derby, scores a goal, but he was solid at the back as well. Very good positioning and very good experience. We have got so many more options in defence whilst being solid, and that is the main thing that we need to make sure of. If we have a solid defence, the front should take care of itself. If you've got a solid defence that can keep goals out, keep the attacks out, keep any threats away from the goal itself, and then a goalkeeper that can deal with the ones that get through, the forwards should then have a bit more freedom to be able to be creative and attack how Liverpool do. And we attack so well, we really do. When we get into numbers or even get on the counter-attack, we get back and forth. Like I said in my review about the Derby game, when we lost that ball, we were like rabid dogs trying to get that ball back. And one of the players, I think it was Darren Bent, said in an interview, said they were absolutely all over us. They lost the ball and bang, within about 5 or 10 seconds, they wanted that ball back and they got it back. That is exactly what we need to be doing. Pressure, pressing, and obviously getting on the counter-attack when we can, or just attacking, because we have the pace, we have the quality, and we have the strike force to go with it. We should be nailing this one to the door. I am going to be bold. I'm going to go for the same result that I predicted that we had against Derby, and I'm going to go for a 3-0 victory for Liverpool. I don't know who the scorers are going to be, because we've got defenders scoring, midfielders scoring, and we've got strikers scoring. I have no idea who's going to score, but I think we are going to get 3 goals, and I think we'll keep a clean sheet, and it's going to be onwards and upwards for Liverpool. So let me know what you think about this game. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm quite positive. How are you feeling about it? Are we taking anything for granted? Are you happy with the lineup? Are you happy with the inclusion of Loris Karius? Getting him in goal, getting him set down in there, getting his first game in the Premier League. I'm happy about it. How do you feel about it? Let me know what you think in the comments below. If you like, please like the video. That'd be amazing if you can do that. Subscribe if you're new around here as well. Loads more content to come. Next week, FIFA drops. Watch out for loads of stuff there. So like the video, subscribe if you're new around here. I will be getting a review of the game out as soon as I can. Most likely Sunday though. And I will catch you later. Thank you very much for watching.